Hey everyone, welcome back to Two Nerds in a Podcast. Today is a very special episode because it is our 1 year podcast anniversary. We've been doing this, keep in mind,
Every
consistently.
Tuesday for a year.
That
Who
is
are
actually,
we?
that is, I can't believe we've been doing this for a year.
I can't either.
Like, time flies when you're having fun, as they say.
Like, literally. And I mean, here's the, we've survived. So not only just, because Casey and I, as we've mentioned before, we both work retail and we both still work retail. So not only have we survived the chaos that is a retail schedule, both through the dead season and the holiday season, but we've survived both of us going on vacations, me being in the hospital. There's so many things where we could have easily just skipped a week, and we just haven't. We powered through. We figured it out.
We did it for a whole year.
Wow.
That's crazy. But yeah, today's episode, we're going to be talking about some of our favorite episodes.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about guests we've had,
Yeah.
podcasts we've been guests on,
Mm-hmm.
and what to expect in the new podcast year. This is the podcast year.
Yeah. I can't believe
Jamie,
it's been a year.
What?
Yes.
Okay, I think we talked
Am I
about
doing
top
with my
5
life?
episodes. Yeah, me either. Honestly,
this is what we're doing.
Yeah, this.
Anyways, what's your question? Sorry.
I think we talked about top 5 episodes. Our top 5 episodes of the year that we enjoyed personally. Yes. I had to look back because
I did too.
We've done so many.
Yeah. And some of them seem further away than others. Because when I was looking at our list, I was like, wow, that was in the beginning? And then other things, I'm like, oh yeah, that was 2 weeks ago, and it feels like 3,000 years ago, but that's fine. I've written down 5. They're not in any particular order, but I think one of my favorite ones that was from the beginning is our Barbie episode.
Yes, that's also on my list.
Nice.
Also, it's just crazy that this time, not this exact time, but around this time last year, we were watching Barbie and doing Barbenheimer and all that jazz.
Yeah.
But I also love that episode a lot.
Yeah, I think you and I, because I feel like we both grew up as Barbie girls, but I feel like if you looked at us, you wouldn't think Barbie necessarily. But I love that we both had similar childhoods involving Barbie, and that we were both excited about Barbie, and we both love the movie. And Ryan Gosling as Ken is just peak casting. It's
absolutely
perfect.
10 out of 10. I'm pretty sure I said that in the episode, but yeah, it's that movie was so good. That episode was good, and that was our first, what would you call it, movie review? Or was that our first movie? Yeah, that was our first movie review.
It was.
I just feel like I want to transport back to Barbenheimer summer, because that was a good summer. Even though I hate the summer, I feel like Barbenheimer summer was a good summer.
Barbenheimer honestly was the first summer since 2016 that felt like a true blue actual summer. It wasn't just another part of the year that you're working through. It actually felt like a summer. Because I'm pretty sure that summer I went went out and did stuff for that summer too, for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, me too.
Because the summer of COVID and then the summer after COVID, it was just just work. We're just working. We're not. We're not going anywhere. Yeah, not going to do anything. And so, it was very, and also the box office in general just wasn't giving us good movies.
No.
That were please come out and see it, especially because movie tickets are so expensive in general now. So it's I don't really want to spend if I go to the theater near my work, it's $15 a ticket for a regular ticket.
Oh
And I'm
my
like,
god, that is
yeah,
disgusting.
I know.
When
I'm
did
like,
that? Okay, you go to the movies a lot more than me.
mm-hmm.
When did movie tickets stop being like $7?
Honestly, it's gonna depend what theater you go to. So I have near work, it's an Edwards Regal Theater,
Oh,
and to
at one of those
me they
fancy ones.
and it's not even that fancy. It's just they like to pretend to be fancy.
Yeah.
But they raised their prices, so it's like $15 for just like a regular movie. And heaven forbid you want to go like opening weekend. They normally bump it up to like 17.
Oh my
Um
god.
yeah, so those theater tickets honestly haven't been cheap in a long time, but if I go the opposite direction and I go to a Cinemark actually still has really good prices, especially if you join. They also have the Superior Movie Club, in my opinion. But Cinemark, for the most part, I think their tickets are still like $8.75 or like $9, somewhere in that range. And Cinemark has, at least all the Cinemarks around me have replaced their seats with
Oh yeah,
the
they have the reclining
recliners
seats. Yeah,
and
that's the thing
reserve
too.
seating.
That is the thing too. It's like when we went to the theater a couple weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
that just the tickets were like $30, okay? And then
Yeah.
I can't even recline in my seat.
Nope. No
What, like,
reclining, and they weren't
excuse
even that
me?
comfortable either for
No,
an
those seats
AMC.
were not those seats were not comfortable.
Yeah, like I can't imagine seeing something like Oppenheimer in a seat like that because my butt would just be numb by the time we were done.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it's crazy. It's
Cinemark
so
is
crazy.
still Cinemark's still superior. I can't imagine some people out here really be seeing stuff in like IMAX and the like real D 3D stuff, and I'm just like, the last IMAX movie I saw was Top Gun Maverick, and 100% worth it. But man, those tickets were like 20 something dollars each.
Ooh, ooh,
Yeah. Yeah.
oof.
So it was, but I mean, for Top Gun specifically, absolutely worth it. But you gotta like pick and choose what movies you want to see in IMAX. It's not just it's because I feel like IMAX used to be like $15 and you'd be like, sure, let's go. And now it's just like, I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine this time.
But yeah, so Barbie episode, definitely a good one. I think that's like episode 3 for us, if I remember correctly. So it was like super beginning.
Yeah.
Also I just love that I love when we do stuff surrounding, which is why we started a podcast, movies and TV, because you and I both get so excited about so
Yeah.
many different things. And we're just like, I was telling this to Casey before we started recording, but we're hilarious. Like, we're
Yes.
literally like the
Yes.
two funniest hosts of anything I have ever known. So, we're here having a great time. Another one I loved, which I think was the second time we had a guest, and I labeled the episode "Guess This Crush," and we had Wyatt on. And I
Mm-hmm.
think we were still relatively trying to keep it to Arcane, but we all know we get quickly off topic for everything. But it's literally the one where I tell Casey like in the middle of the episode, I'm like, you gotta name one more. She's like, ooh, ooh.
I just like lose control.
Yeah, and then I do like right before that, you're like, can we make this a game? And I'm like, yeah, sure, we can make it a game.
It's like because I knew who it was, but I was like, Dean, not Dean.
Yeah.
His name is not Dean. It's something. What's his name? I should know this. And now Jensen Ackles is all over every social media
uh,
now because I love Soldier Boy
yes.
so much, which I'm
Mm-hmm.
okay with. I am okay with, especially the video. Anytime it pops up on my like TikTok or my
Mm-hmm.
reels, I like it every single time, which is probably why it keeps popping up on different accounts. But it's the one where they do the what is it, a deep fake of him, and he's holding his phone up and he's like looking all proud and he's like, that's enough of that. like
yeah,
the
then he
comments,
like makes his face and like, oh my gosh.
One of the comments was like, why is he smiling like he made that? And I was like, oh my god, I could just imagine, like, oh, it's so funny. But yes,
Oh god, I
I'm
love
here for
him.
it. I'm here for
Yeah.
it. 10 out of 10.
Oh my gosh. And then let's see. Another one which I feel like we're gonna have to definitely revisit for spooky season, is our Mothman episode.
That one's also on my list because I love
We love
Mothman
Mothman.
and I love cryptids and ghost stories. And honestly, I don't know what I was gonna say. Actually, don't listen to me.
I love because it was like you have like so much knowledge already, but then like I just started like throwing in a bunch of other stuff, and I love it because it's just like tangent city. Like we
Yes.
just moved from like cryptid or story or spooky thing to spooky thing. And also it's like it's just, I don't know, cryptids and like the supernatural, both the TV show and like actual supernatural things, is just like an amazing jumping point for both you and I, that we could just sit there and blah, 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 blah about it the whole like for 2 hours, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love cryptids. And that one was like a super I think we like didn't have anything planned and I was like, I have an idea.
Yep.
And I didn't even tell you. I was like, we're going
Nope.
to just do something
Yep.
and you're going to roll with it. And I brought up because the reason I think I've said this before in the podcast, but the reason we started a podcast was because my favorite podcasters, and that's why we drink, they do like cryptids and ghost stories, and I was like, I want to do something because I love cryptids and ghost stories,
Mm-hmm.
like an ode to them. And I had a blast, and I love Mothman, and we love us some Mothman. Did you see that post I sent you on Facebook about Mothman?
Yeah. Yeah.
They made me laugh so hard today.
I love seeing all the Mothman memes and things like that. And I was like, this is amazing. And then I remember, like, right after we did that episode, because I'm like a big fan of Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, and they have a clothing company called Cloak. But they came out with a cryptid collection, and I was just like, wow, we are all on the same wavelength right here.
We all love the
Fabulous.
cryptids.
Yeah, because I literally was just like scrolling, and there was like the little like like warning signs for the it wasn't for Mothman, it was for those weird little like alien dudes from the desert. I can't.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
the night
was
crawlers.
the night crawlers.
Yeah, and I was like, what is it? Because I don't really follow anything that would normally post that, and then I realized it was Cloak, and I was like, that's so weird. It was all a coincidence.
Also, that cryptid is slowly becoming one of my favorites too. The night crawlers, because
Yeah.
they're so cute.
I love
And
it
they're
because
just so
they just
silly.
look like little people with like a onesie on.
Yeah. They're so cute. I love them so much. But that is also a top episode of mine. I think I said
Yeah,
that. Yes.
I love that we've got like 2 of the same top episodes so far. That's amazing. And then my last 2 kind of go hand in hand because they both involve amazing stories about other Jamie, which make me giggle on a daily basis. And that's It's a Sick New World episode, and it's barf. So when we're talking about Sick New World and we're talking about Chainsaw Man, I love that other Jamie was revived by Poppy in order to survive the Bad Omens set, just for you, Casey.
Just for me. I'm like, Jamie, I love you so much. And listen, we can leave.
We can leave, but
but not right now. Give me like 20 minutes and I swear we'll be all right.
I'll be ready. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be ready. But it's okay because she survived. And you know what? We're going to go. We haven't even mentioned this, but all 3 of us are going to go to a festival to see Bad Omens.
I'm so excited.
So,
and it's in California, which is cool.
Yeah.
So you guys get to come my direction, which is fabulous. And as the responsible Jamie and the responsible party member, we'll make sure that all three of us get to said festival in one
Oh yeah.
piece. What we do at the festival is out of my control, but we will get there.
We will get there. Yeah, like if you thought you had it bad with me, imagine like
I'm gonna have
a
2
second
toddlers on my
version.
hands.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have 2 toddlers, but I did tell this to Casey the other day. I was like, in like movies and stuff, there's always like the popular girl has like 2 friends named Taylor. So they always have like the Taylors or the Ashleys. I go, that's you, except you have the
The
Jamies,
Jamies, yeah.
and we're all just unhinged. There's no like, yeah, we're just crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my coworker today like saw the sticker on my water bottle and he thought that I was doing the podcast with other Jamie.
Oh,
So he was like she's not that tan, and I was like that's not her. It's the other Jamie. I know it's confusing, and like depending on who I'm talking to, like other Jamie makes sense. Like I don't have to specify.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll say like Kingman Jamie or like California Jamie, but
Yeah.
most of the time people know, but yeah, it does get confusing because I'm like no, not that Jamie, other Jamie.
Other Jamie. I do
But
like when you talk to your dad and he's just like, "What?" Like Jake, because he thinks of me,
yeah,
and you're like, "No, the Arizona Jamie." And he said,
yeah,
"Oh, okay."
the other Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Jamie are very much a one brain cell type of friendship. Like we
Mhm.
split it. So like sometimes she gets it, sometimes I get it. So
Yeah.
anytime we do stuff, it's chaotic, like the barf. Like
Oh
it's
god.
just chaos, like it
Yeah.
just doesn't make any sense, but it's funny. You know what I
And
mean?
yet it does. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If you don't know, you don't know, okay? And if you know,
Yeah.
you know.
If you know, you know. And Jamie is like, I could be like, hey, you want to go get the most unhinged tattoo of your life? And she'll be like, I already made the appointment. What are you doing? I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
She's like, I made the appointment. I just assumed you were coming with the idea.
Yeah. I'm like, cool, got it.
Oh gosh. So yeah, I'm super excited. I don't think we mentioned the festival we're going to is Mayhem Fest in San Bernardino, California. So if y'all are going, let us know. We're poor people, so we just have general admission. So if there's anybody who wants to like scoot us to the front, feel free. No, Sebastian, if you're listening, feel free to have us backstage. That'd also be great. But I'm excited for our adventure with the three of us. Also, I love that
Yeah.
because Casey and other Jamie had posted on their Instagrams about it, and I reacted, and other Jamie instantly was like, "Are you gonna come? Because Casey and I are both going." I was like, yes.
She texted me. She was like, "Do I seem insane for texting her that?" And I was like, "No, it's fine."
No. Absolutely not. I love it. Because
We're
I
gonna
was
be
like,
all.
how do I invite myself without feeling like I'm inviting myself?
Yeah, I was gonna send you the link, especially once I saw the prices of them, because I was like,
Yeah.
because I was thinking not as expensive as Sick New World, but like
Yeah.
in the
But
middle.
over 100 for sure.
Yeah. And then I saw that and I was like, $50 for a festival?
With
I'm
Bad
in.
Omens?
With
Yes.
Bad Omens? Like, third time's the charm. I love them so much. I will see them any opportunity that I get. So,
Yeah. And I saw Poppy
great.
was also on the list. So I know other Jamie's like, hell yeah.
Yeah. We're all very excited.
Yeah.
And we're going to look so cute and we're going to be all
So
decked
many
out in our
pictures.
candy bracelets, and it's going to be so
Yes.
fun. And I can't wait. I love festivals.
I'm so
I've been dying to go
excited.
to one again.
What are your other? Because we had the same two. So what are your other 3 top 5 episodes?
So, sorry, my bird's ringing. If you hear that, okay. So one of my favorite episodes was when we did our like deaths at Disneyland,
Mm-hmm.
because I love a good Disneyland story, and I love a good morbid, creepy story.
Absolutely.
So
Especially if for places that are supposed to be like super happy and super like, there's no death here. Lies.
it still just blows my mind that you can't die on Disney property.
Yeah, Disney really said, you can't do that here.
Yeah, they're like, this is the happiest place on earth. We are not having this here. Like, that's just like, what? No,
Insane.
I want that on my death certificate. Died at Disneyland. I want that on my
Yeah.
if you're not going to give it to me on my death certificate, put it on
Put
my
it on my
headstone.
headstone. Put me in the graveyard of the Haunted Mansion.
Yes, please, because it's just crazy. But I love. Also, I've been going down this like weird, random, and honestly, it's because of our Disney series.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll look up like whatever ride we're talking about. I'll watch. My favorite is Defunct Land on YouTube. Shout out to them. And then there's another one that does like mostly facts about stuff. But I'll look up a video, of whatever. Like I looked up the Haunted Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just spiraled down like this rabbit hole of like ghosts and deaths and all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, how did I end up here? And how has it been 5 hours?
Yeah, my favorite was the random text message I got saying, we need to plan a Florida trip like for the next year because I want to ride ET. And I was like, you got it, Casey. We will go to Florida. We will meet up with Darby and we will ride the ET ride together.
Yeah. No, after I found out that ET was still there, I was like, I need to go. And then I was like watching a bunch of those videos on YouTube and I was like, dude, I want to ride the ET ride so bad. Like running to that ride, okay? Because I don't know if it's just like a nostalgia thing or just I love ET because he's such a little freak. Um but yeah. Also they just have cool stuff there. So Florida, we're
There's
coming
just
for
so
you.
much. Yeah.
I'm gonna say a series that's my favorite
Mm-hmm.
is a series we're currently working on, which is
Mm-hmm.
The Boys. I
Yeah.
That series is so fun. Honestly, any TV series we do, I enjoy, even though
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we lack on them, like the
Like report
Supernatural
Stranger
Attack on
Things
yeah,
and
yeah,
Supernatural. There's a very long list of things we need to finish.
our poor Stranger Things. I forgot about that one.
We got through one season and then we're like, okay, we gotta move on to other things now.
Maybe when Stranger Things comes back, we'll jump back on that hype train.
Yeah, for sure.
The Boys is like the only one I think that we have like consistently right now.
Yeah, and that we're like caught up to date with.
Yeah, like up to date. We got all the
Because
seasons
now we just
covered.
have to wait. Yeah, we just have to wait for the season to end now. Because we did first 3 episodes, and then now we just gotta wait for the rest of the season.
Yeah, so we're good on that. But I love doing honestly like any of the movie series,
Mm-hmm.
or the TV series, the movie reviews are so fun because
Yeah.
I do them anyways on my Instagram. If I watch a movie, I always do like a little review on it.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that I get to yap about it for an hour, great, love it.
Yeah, and I love too, like if we've either introducing each other to stuff is always great because it's like, what did you like? What do you remember? What's your favorite part? Remember, because it's normally things that one of us has seen about 3 million times. And so we're always excited
Yes.
for the other one because Casey and I have this friendship where we can yap to each other about any movie, TV show, celebrity crush, fictional crush, and we will listen with all the love and understanding in the world, even if we have no freaking clue what the other one is talking about. And
Yeah.
so this podcast has really allowed us to like actually delve into what the other watches, and so now we're just even more obsessed with more things.
Yeah. Also, I feel like this podcast has definitely like opened up our horizons. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
that's the right term,
Yeah.
but like just stuff we wouldn't normally watch.
Mm-hmm.
We like, cause before, honestly, last year, I think I went to the movies like 4 times collectively in the last, like, 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's so fun, like, it's fun to go to the movies now, and then I get to come home and talk about it, like,
Mhm.
I'm down. I'm down.
And I love because it sets us on so many journeys as well. Because,
Yeah.
like, now I'm on an anime journey, you're on a supernatural journey, I put you on the boys' journey.
Mhm.
So, like, it's just, we've gotten to experience so many things, but also because I feel like when you're watching it, like, together with somebody, s I feel like you guys we both, like, catch different things. And then we
Yeah.
discuss, or we have, two completely different favorite characters, or like when I watch through stuff, I'm like, oh, now I understand why Casey likes this character. Like when I was watching through Chainsaw Man, I'm like, yeah, Power is probably one of her favorites. And then it was. And I'm like,
And it
yeah,
is.
that makes sense.
You're like, "I get it."
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, watching Supernatural, I'm like, "Okay, I get it." Like, Jensen Ackles is hilarious
Yes.
and very attractive, so I get it. I
Absolutely.
get the
Yep.
hype, okay? But I think that I'm gonna say those are my top favorite ones, to
Nice.
do. I love I mean, I just love all the episodes we do because,
Yeah.
podcaster.
Honestly, even the episodes that were like, what are we recording today? And I'm like, I don't know, I figured we just kind of wing it. We're very good at that.
Yeah, and those are, like, our like, end up being our, like, long-winded
Yeah.
chats, like,
Yeah.
where we just yap on.
Yeah, forever.
But yeah. We've also had, what, 2 has it been just 2 guests?
Yes, we've had two guests on our podcast and we've guest starred on two podcasts.
Yes.
So, shout out to Wyatt, aka Pirate King Boros, one who has both of us on his stream on his Twitch channel all the time, but also for being a willing participant to come onto our podcast, pretty much in like the beginning. Um,
Yeah.
he is also a certified weeb and nerd, um, and I'm very excited because we're gonna have a lot of content with the three of us in person in about a month and a half ish.
Yeah.
So, very excited for the Weeb Central group chat to be
Yeah, it's gonna be a
live
W
and in
another
color.
another
Another
WWE emo.
WWE.
Yeah, that's gonna also be chaos too, I feel like, just based
Oh,
off of the
absolutely.
episodes that we've recorded.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a very adventure and nerd-filled week, actually,
Week.
week
Yeah.
extravaganza. So, I'm very excited that he'll be back. He'll be back on the podcast, so don't you
Yeah.
worry.
Yeah, don't worry. Wyatt will always be on the podcast. But yeah, it was funny because I wasn't sure because sometimes when you've got like too many people, especially on something like a podcast or a radio show, you're like, there's too many of us like talking at the same time. But honestly, because you and I as a duo are already chaotic,
Yeah.
adding Wyatt into the mix makes it more chaotic, but not so chaotic that it gives you a headache. Like
Yeah.
we become even more funny, and I'm like, I didn't know that was possible, but we're gosh dang hilarious.
Yeah, so there's going to be lots of pictures and lots of videos and lots of
Yes.
podcasts, and I'm very excited. So be prepared for it all over the socials.
Yeah, it truly is an extravaganza. There is
Yeah.
like literally no better word for it. So yeah, so Wyatt's been on a couple of times. We've talked about his current obsession, which is Arcane and specifically Jinx from Arcane. So we all love our fictional characters here on this podcast, and so it was super fun to get him on here a couple of times. Um And then our second guest that we've had within the year is somebody that Casey and I don't actually know in person. She's just purely an internet friend now. She answered the call of the nerd when we were asking for people to be on the podcast for a Disney series, and that is Darby. She was on our Haunted Mansion episode, and she's from Florida. So it was really cool to get the perspective of you and I, who have constantly been to the California parks, and then for her to be constantly at the Florida parks. So it's very exciting. I'm excited to have her on the podcast again.
Yeah, that was a really fun episode. It was cool. Like, she just had so much knowledge of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Like, when I found out that the reason, like, that E.T. still exists is because Steven
Yeah.
Spielberg said, you're not getting rid of this ride.
Yeah.
And I
Steven
was
Spielberg
like,
said no.
yeah. And I was like, that's crazy. Now I need to go. But yeah, that was a really fun episode. And a good first few episodes for our Disney series, which
Yeah,
we're still
yeah.
doing, by the way. So eventually, that's a lot. So we have a lot of content for Disney.
Yeah.
So
Also, if
but
you
we're
want to
still doing it.
participate, we're still taking signups over on our link tree. There'll be a link to sign up for that if you want to come on the podcast. There's no prior experience needed. And all you honestly need is your cell phone and a pair of headphones, and you'll be good to go. An
And a
actual
dream.
microphone and a dream. Little dream in your heart. And a lot of chaos also in your heart. Be prepared to be chaotic. Um, but yeah, she was great, and it was funny because I do remember when we were getting ready to record that, and Casey was like, "Do you know this person?" And I was like, "Nope, she's a stranger. I mean, we know her now, but
Yeah.
yeah, I was no." And I do love that she found us on a late night doom scroll through ye old TikTok.
Yes, which is relatable.
Yeah, same. And then we have guest starred on two different podcasts. One of them,
Kinda,
kind of,
sorta.
yeah, which was a live stream. But the first one we did, which I thought was super fun, was for the Joystick Show. Um, and those three gentlemen, we only got to talk to two of the gentlemen, but they were very nice. It was a great time. And I was super flattered that somebody was like, "Hey, we would like you to be on the podcast," and I'm like, "Us?
You're like,
You
us?
want us
Us
on the
little
podcast?"
babies? Us little baby podcasters?
Especially because both of the podcasts we've been on, they're like a pretty big like podcast.
Yeah.
Like we're just little baby like barely hit 200 followers on Instagram baby podcast, and they're like thousands of followers, and like wow. So
Oh my
um
gosh.
yeah, but yeah, the Joystick show was a lot of fun. Casey, as per usual, had some technical difficulties,
Yeah.
but we expect nothing less.
No.
But either way, it was so much fun. So make sure to check them out. Um, 'cause their show is great. They have so much content on the reg. I'm just like, wow, you guys are like, I mean, they've got it like down pat. They've got a schedule and they keep to it. And I'm like, Casey and I are hanging on to our 1 day a week upload. Like, I can't
Yeah.
imagine. And then, like, they've got all of these, like, social media videos and pictures and stuff that go on their Instagram. And I'm just like, wow, you guys have got it together. And I love that for them.
Yeah, that was fun. And very flattering. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I know. You want to talk to us?
Yeah. Also, I love that both podcasts that we've been on,
Mm-hmm.
they're like, I love your guys' dynamic together.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god, it's because
The
we've been friends
chaos.
for literally ever.
Yeah.
And this just gives us a reason to do what we normally do, which is yap a bunch. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the other show we were on was, oh my gosh, I can't think of. They have a long podcast name. Is it
Yeah, they do.
Ghost
Ghost Head Talk?
Ghost Head Talk podcast?
Let me see.
Maybe.
What are those?
Ghost Head's Nerd Talk podcast. And they had us on. They live stream every Tuesday, which is exciting. So they were like, "You guys want to live stream with us?" And we went, "Okay." Casey and I were both fashionably late, which I thought was hilarious because traffic literally was just not on our side that day. But
Also, it
that's
made me feel so much better that you were also late because I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, if Jamie's late, then I don't even feel as bad because Jamie is
Like, it's
punctual AF. And so I'm like, oh, good, okay. And also, I had just gone. Why did my act? What happened to my? I had just gone to the Haunted Museum. Why did I say it like that? Oh my god! What the heck? I'm from the South.
It's the 1 year anniversary accent. It's Southern.
But I had just gotten out of the Haunted Museum. And I realized it was going to take 9 million years to get through, and my phone was turned off. So I'm like frantically texting Jamie like at 5 when we're supposed to be there. I'm like, oh my god, I just got my phone turned off. Oh man, but that was fun. I didn't have technical difficulties then because I was at my boyfriend's house and he has much better internet than me.
Yes. And it was a great time. I love that they had pointed out that that was the longest episode they had ever streamed. And I was like, yeah, that tracks. Casey and I can't shut up about anything. So anytime you want a longer episode, we got you.
Yeah, we got you. Even if it's about nothing, we could make it about something.
Literally, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll just talk about Twilight for the whole time.
Oh gosh, I love that that's like a thing in so many of our episodes is we just bring up Twilight.
Yeah,
it's
that's
fabulous.
Our bingo card. So every time you hear it, you can mark off a bingo spot when you hear a Twilight reference.
Yeah, oh, there they go. Twilight, check.
Also, I feel like anytime we just talk in general, we talk about Twilight because I remember like when you were here, we were just like, I felt like we were constantly talking about it. And I'm like, this movie is, and book series is very old, but it will never die in our hearts.
Yeah, it's very old and it's not good, but we love it. It is trash, and we are just loathly opossums coming to eat the trash.
Yes, I eat it up. Let me tell you.
Yeah, like we live for the memes, and I love that. The longer, like the more distant we get from the actual Twilight era, the more bizarre the memes have come. So like my favorite is still the oh weather meme. And I'm just like and it's just like it's overcast for like 2 seconds and people are like, oh, it's oh weather, and I'm like, I hate that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm upset.
Yeah. Okay, now I know Casey's a good she loves a good fun fact. She loves some numbers. I do. So I do have some numbers about our podcast that I had to painstakingly go through the entire list of our episodes. But before we get to that, I did want to say, so we sat at 24 followers on Spotify specifically for quite a while, but we now have 31.
What?
Look at us go.
Shout out to all 31 of you. You are the real MVP.
Yeah.
And you're following the best podcast out there. So
truly thank you for subscribing. We love you. And I love that our according all my stats that I'm going to be listing are just from Spotify because I don't care about the stats from anywhere else. But I do love that our entire audience on Spotify is female. So shout out to all you girlies. We love you. I know, like, for a fact that Wyatt listens either on YouTube or on Apple Podcasts because he doesn't do Spotify. So he's kind of lame sometimes.
Yeah, lame.
But yeah, it was just like when I was looking at the stats, it was like 100% female. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Like,
We're a podcast for the girlies. And our most popular age range, I said that really weird. Which makes sense, is 28 to 34. Which Casey's 28. I'm
and you're
30.
34. Oh.
I'm not 34. Bruh. You know what? If I'm 34, that means you're gonna be 32, ma'am.
Oh. Okay, you're 30. You're 30.
And then our second most popular demographic is 35 to 44. So basically our age range is anywhere from 28 to 44, which I found very interesting. Nobody below the age of 28 listens to us, though. So we are a true millennial podcast.
Yes.
And then I went through and looked to see, because when I upload on Spotify our episodes, the most recent ones pop up and it tells you how many people have watched each episode. And I happened to see that the episode called Seeing Jensen Ackles, which was about my experience at my first Supernatural convention, was at 21 views. And I'm like, I could have swore we had one that had more besides our original episode, and I went and looked, and Jensen has officially beat Gojo, which I was surprised, because like the Gojo episode, which is Who's Your Anime Crush and Why Is It Gojo, literally that one had sat at like technically number 2 basically since we uploaded it. It was like instantly everybody was like, this episode.
Everybody was like, yes, Gojo.
Yeah. So our most popular episode, which isn't surprising, is our first episode, which is called Welcome to the Madness. So thank you for everybody who has not only listened to that episode, but also has continued listening to our episodes. You're the real ones for being here since day one. And that one I expected it to be number 1 because it's the first episode. And some people like to start at the beginning of podcasts. I know that's how I am. Mm-hmm. And then other people just kind of jump right into whatever episode they find. And then number 2 is Seeing Jensen Ackles. And honestly, every time I see that title, I get more and more excited about my second Supernatural convention of the year that's coming up in August, because I actually get to meet and touch Jensen Ackles, and I'm very excited, and it gets me hyped every time. And it's funny because I keep seeing all of the girlies that meet like Jensen and Jared, and they're crying afterwards. So I will have to report back if I cry or not. I don't think I will, but it's also Jensen Ackles, so I might.
Yeah. Also, it could just be like a spiritual, like, awakening thing, you know?
It truly will be.
Like, where your soul just leaves your body and, like, you just have to cry, you know?
Yeah, because Dean Winchester will literally be standing in front of me in the flesh. Yeah. And I will never be the same. Soldier Boy. Oh my gosh, yeah. I love Soldier Boy. He's hilarious. Yes. And then number 3 is Who's Your Anime Crush and Why Is It Gojo? I've learned we have a lot of Gojo fans in our audience, which isn't surprising at all. I'm also very excited to report. So when we're recording this, it's before our anniversary date. But that I have a long weekend coming up, so I am planning on starting Jujutsu Kaisen, because I do plan on having 2 days of absolutely being a couch potato. Yay! So look forward to our JJK episode in the near future, because I'm excited.
Oh, I can't wait, because that is an anime for sure. Yes. And I love Gojo, and I can't wait for you to watch it. It's gonna be so exciting.
So I'm super excited.
Yes.
And then number 4 at 17 whole views is our first episode about Attack on Titan. which is
we got a
called
bunch of weebs here.
yeah, which is called Bow and Arrow of Crimson. And I was actually surprised because when I titled that, I was like, I feel like only true weebs are gonna understand, and obviously y'all did because y'all clicked on it and listened to it. And I was actually kind of surprised that that one had more views than our actual season 1 review. So people must like the fact that I know nothing. Like, let's see what trash opinions this girl has.
That was a good episode too. I
It was
also
good.
liked it because I obviously am a weeb, and now that you're a
Mm-hmm.
weeb also, like a full, like a
Certified.
you're a certified weeb, okay? um it's great, and now we can just weeb out all the time.
Yeah. And I understand now. So it's very
Yes.
exciting. Um and then for 5th place, we had several episodes that had the all had 16 listens. So Theme Park Besties, which I believe was like our first theme park episode. Um I feel like we had done Disney. We'd just done our Disney trip that time.
Mm-hmm.
But that one, and then I was very excited to see that our arcane episode with Wyatt, the one I titled it Everybody Wants to Be My Enemy, was on there. I'm like, yay. All of Wyatt's friends obviously came out to support, and I guess they're my friends too because we all stream together all the time. um and then our Attack on Titan season 1 episode, which I titled Emotional Damage. I would also like to say I think I'm a title genius, so
Oh,
y'all are
absolutely.
welcome.
I'm always very excited to see what you title them because I don't know what she titles them, and they never disappoint. And your
Yeah.
edits never disappoint either.
And then our last one, which also tracks, is our Your Sick New World episode called It's a Sick New World. So we've got all of the weebs and the music junkies coming out to listen to our podcast, which is absolutely amazing.
Yes, we love it. We love you, weebs. We weebs unite, okay?
Absolutely.
It's great, and I love it. I love it.
Yes. Now I wanted to ask you because we I feel like we have like we're now from now on gonna have pretty much 3 wrap ups every year. We're gonna have the Spotify wrap up, we're gonna have the actual year end wrap up, and then we're gonna have our podcast anniversary wrap up. Um but I wanted to know what you are looking forward to for this next year for the pod. So what subjects are you excited for? Are you excited to try out maybe a different style of episode? Like, what are you excited for this next year?
I am. Well, I think. Let me think, because my brain's doing a bunch of things right now. Hang
Nope,
on.
that's fine. I asked you many parted questions, so
So our Disney series and our theme park ride movie, whatever you want to call it, series is
mm-hmm.
I'm very excited for to start doing more of that, because when you made that spreadsheet, first off, I was like, you made this whole thing. Wow. Second off, I was just going through the rides, and now that I'm in this rabbit hole on YouTube, I'm like, I just want to talk about all the rides.
Yes.
But honestly, in this new podcast year, happy new year. I feel like we have so much stuff planned, and I'm so excited to just nerd out on so many different things, like, because we are nerds about literally so many things. And it's like we went, so like at one point last year we were scraping the bottom of the barrel for things to talk
Yeah.
about. We were
Yeah.
like, what should we do? Okay, we'll just do like a little chit chat. Now
Mm-hmm.
it's like we have so many things, and like
Yeah.
stuff
It's
has
like
to get pushed
when.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
when do you want to do it? When, not like what.
Yeah. So that is exciting because I feel like we've really leveled up on our content,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just very excited. I am really excited to have more guests, hopefully have
Yeah.
be on some more people's podcasts, because I love
Mm-hmm.
doing that too. But that's what I'm excited for. What about you?
I'm excited. Maybe we can kind of play with the like style of our episodes. I really love the only bad thing is cuz then it's Spotify exclusive, but I really love our Stranger Things
Our
season 1
music one.
episode with the music. Cuz I feel like it's very much like a radio show and I love that feeling. But again, the only bad part is it is Spotify exclusive cuz music and all of that. Um but I think the format is really fun. So I'm excited to one finish the Stranger Things series here on the podcast, but two also possibly make them all kind of music related like that because it was a lot of fun. I don't think I could ever be a radio host, but it was fun to pretend to be a radio
Pretend.
host. But yeah, I'm also excited for the theme park episodes, particularly because we're getting guests either that we don't know or friends that want to participate that like maybe would never do a podcast on their own, but they're excited to kind of guest star on ours. um we do have a couple more guests already lined up for that, so like I said earlier, the link for the form to fill out is in the bio somewhere, so feel free to join us on the pod. It's a ton of fun. We have fun here. But yeah, I am excited that it doesn't feel like we're scraping for topics anymore, for sure.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like because we try to pre-record a little bit so that we have stuff to upload if we get busy or something happens. But now it's just kind of like, well, we're gonna have to move this back because this show just came out or this movie just came out, and so
Yeah, we got to
we
keep up
just
to date with the times, okay?
we
We got to
do.
be
We do.
on
We
it.
try to keep it up. And so it's exciting that you and I both have found this like groove that, you know, we pretty much have days that we know we need to record, or, you know, can you do this time or can we do earlier or later, and we're both really flexible with each other, but we're both still very committed to this podcast. um and so it's a lot of fun. I love having this podcast. I'm so happy that you were like, we need to do a podcast. And I was like, I don't
Yeah.
know what that is, but okay.
Let's do it. I was
Yeah.
like, you are the only person I can think of that A has the skills, because you are the editing master, and B, the only other person that would nerd out with me on the
Hmm.
record.
Yeah. Nerd out for other people to listen to.
Yeah. I'm also excited too because we have some merch, which will be
Yeah.
um we got 3 stickers, which we've talked about before, but hopefully it's the next year we can have more designs and more stuff. So
Hmm.
definitely follow along.
Yeah,
Um
make sure to subscribe to all those socials because we will keep you guys in the loop as soon as we know things. But yeah, for sure, get your stickers because they're beautiful and amazing. And Casey
yeah.
and I already have them on our water bottles. So we'd love to be twins with everybody and have all the stickers everywhere.
Also, I just realized that, like, I was looking at our nerd stickers on my water
Mm-hmm.
bottle because I have them right next to each other, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
man, Cosmo and Wanda, you guys are not slick here. You guys are. We're like, it's like our version of Cosmo and Wanda.
Absolutely. Anytime you see blue and pink, you got to think of us.
Yeah, or a gender reveal, but you should think of
Yeah,
us.
just think of us. Think of us first, okay? Don't think of the kids. Don't think of the children.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't do it. Think of us. We're more important.
Yeah. But I think that's it for our episode. Also, I want to point out it's our anniversary is 7-Eleven. So our anniversary
Slurpee
is
Day.
Slurpee Day. So in honor of us, please go to 7-Eleven, get yourself a Slurpee.
And then just
Delicious.
binge us that day because you'll have a
Yes.
free Slurpee, and who wouldn't
and
want
a
to binge a
great
podcast?
podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, like I said earlier, don't forget to follow us on all the socials. And I need to put this pen down because it's making noise, and editing Jamie is not going to be happy about that. But don't forget to follow us wherever you're listening. So whether that be on Spotify, YouTube, or Apple Podcasts. And don't forget to give us a little cheeky 5 stars if you enjoy the podcast. That helps boost us on the Spotify homepage in particular. And don't forget to share with your friends, your family, your dog, everywhere. Tell
Yeah, your
everybody
neighbors.
until they are forced to listen to us. Okay? Okay.
Yeah.
But we thank you. We thank all of our subscribers, both here, Instagram, on all the socials. You guys are fabulous. We have not come across any negativity in our podcast journey. All our fellow podcasters have been super nice. And we're very thankful for this experience. So
thank you.
yes. And then obviously continue to follow us because I'm telling you, Casey and I say it all the time, but we've got so much stuff coming. It's not even funny. And if you want to see like our faces and stuff, you can head over to my YouTube channel. I do occasionally do a little vlog here and there, especially when we get together in person. And yeah, I believe that's it. So we'll see you guys in the next episode. So bye.